People who work at a drive-thru window, what are some things that you've overheard on the headset that customers don't know you heard? There were two homeless people fighting in the parking lot. Some guy rolled up to the speaker with two kids in the back and I hear him say, "Do you guys want to watch them fight? Okay, I'll go through and get the food, you guys stay here." I was watching on the security camera as this man lets out two kids, around 6 and 8 years old, so they could stand by the dumpster and watch two drunk guys beat the garbage out of each other with bricks. We had ran out of salads and I was taking a drive-thru order. The dude said, "1 second please," and called his mom. They get into a 3 minutes argument where I recall him saying, "I'm not gonna drive all around the city for a fluffing salad, mom." Worked at a McDonald's. Most memorable one was a woman who got a call after she placed an order and burst out crying. Person in her passenger side asks, "What's wrong?" She responds, "Window still down, my dad just died." Taking her payment was extremely uncomfortable. Kind of a backwards example, but one time I was having a tough day and my roommate and I went to grab food from this local diner's drive-thru. She wanted to get food from somewhere else, so I just got a burger and fries. After a bunch of driving around, she finally decided she wanted food from there, so we went back, and I got a shake and she got fries, and then after we'd already ordered I said to her how I honestly wanted more fries, but 1, I shouldn't spend any more money, and 2, we'd already finished the order, and 3, the drive-thru guy was gonna hardcore judge me, especially since we'd already been through the drive-thru in the last 30 minutes. When we pulled up to the window, the guy gave us our food and then gave me some fries, said, "No judgment, it's on the house," and winked at me. It was super nice, but also I died of embarrassment, and that was the day I learned they can hear you even when you don't think they can. A girl was in the middle of ordering when her boyfriend called her. He was breaking up with her as well as confessing he had been cheating on her. Her car put the call through the speakers. I couldn't comp her order, but I did tell the person at the other window to give her a free ice cream of her choosing. I'm surprised she didn't just pull out of line. One time these 3 guys who were stoned out of their minds came through. It took like a full 5 minutes to get through the order because they couldn't stop laughing. Also, the guy was ordering Whoppers, and I don't work at Burger King. Then at the window, they had to change a bunch of the order and he was still saying Whoppers. I told him we don't serve Whoppers and they all started laughing again. When I was working a drive-thru window, I was more worried that the customer would overhear what I was saying about them. One time I called a guy an idiot under my breath, wasn't holding down the talk button, and he pulled up to the window to pay, and it was my pastor. A couple had a full-on boxing match at the speaker. I just said, "Let me know when you're ready to order," as I heard the punches land on each other's faces while they yelled at each other. Then the lady yelled, "I wish you were dead," and the guy laughed manically. Then they ordered like they didn't just go Rocky vs. Drago. I was working drive and I had a customer pull up to the speaker and then order. Then afterwards she didn't pull up to the window. And I can still hear what she says even though I'm not taking her order. She then started having a loud phone conversation and started talking about how I was cheating on her boyfriend. I gave her a little time and then said, "You can pull up, ma'am." A girl's orgasm. Late teens, early 20s girl and her boyfriend were coming through McDonald's drive-thru. Apparently, she was enjoying a bit of manual magic from her boyfriend under the blanket while waiting to order on a busy night. She was very flushed when they got to the window. No shame at all. I used to be a drive-thru bank teller and this woman dropped $100 bill from her withdrawal envelope inside her car. She accused me of stealing. And while I rechecked my drawer, she called me a racial slur that came to her country to steal from Americans. BC she thought the microphone was off. My manager overheard the while interaction. Well, by time the woman came into the bank screaming, her younger son came running after her. BC he found the bill underneath the driver's seat. My manager closed her bank account and told her to not come back. So many parents yelling at their kids to make up their minds. Also once had a guy ask for jalapenos on his sandwich. I started laughing, and he got super mad and demanded to talk to my manager at it. I feel like I should clarify. Jalapeno man was an old redneck in the middle of Missouri. So it was funny not only because of the pronunciation but because of the southern, Midwest accent. I also didn't mean to laugh at him. Both me and my coworker forgot our headsets were on. My coworker said it the same way he did and I laughed, and when he pulled up to the window, that is when he asked to see our manager. We have a camera at ours and it's right there, so it's hard not to see. But still I get to see parents smack their children, couples arguing, the nasty, nasty faces you make at me, the arm gestures of how fluffing stupid are you when I ask if they want cream and sugar in their coffee. BC I'm supposed to know you want 13 and 9 in a medium. The worst is dumping garbage right in front of the camera. I feel like I don't hear a lot of crazy stuff but see a lot. I see people's cars filled to the top with garbage. This old lady came through with blood all over her sleeve. Crazy stuff lol. A mom got out of her car and began wrestling her children in the back seat. The dad just said, "We need a moment." Quote, heard someone give their personal info, date of birth, social security number, payment information, over the phone. Was taking an order for a college-aged couple. They ordered a couple Happy Meals. After I told them their total, I heard the girl yell excitedly, "We're getting toys," and they pull up and she has the biggest genuine excited grin on her face. Honestly made my day, it was super cute. Edit, whoa, my first ever gold. Thank you. Mine is actually reverse. I was the employee that accidentally said something through the headset that the customer heard. It was a steak and shake. About 10 years ago, the headsets had a button to push for talking through just the headsets and a button for talking to the customer. You can see how the mistake happened. We were joking with one of my coworkers about her having to sleep here instead of ever going home, and I said, "Hope you brought your pillow, 'cause you're not going on here." Then I heard the customer laugh and died inside. A KFC in the town overheard someone selling weed through the drive-thru. His customers would ask for extra biscuits with their order, and he would put the weed in the bag. A soccer mom one day went through, had about 5 kids with her. She orders extra biscuits for them. That guy was fired pretty quickly. Made the evening news, too. Guy came to the Wendy's I worked at and got in an argument with his wife about if we served tater tots or not. After a few minutes I butted in and told him we didn't serve tater tots. He told me they were on our screen and he was gonna get them tots. He was looking at the chicken nuggets. Sometimes after we're closed we keep our headsets on so we can talk to each other while closing up. When someone pulls up to the drive-thru screen, we have a pre-recorded message saying that we are closed. There have been many occasions of people driving up, hearing the message, and yelling, "Well fluff you," or something along those lines to the speaker box. Opposite thing here, but still a good story. And #X200B, I was working the window while a friend was on the headset. I kept messing with him all night while he was taking orders. He started to get frustrated while still laughing. And #X200B, a few hours later, a lady was in the middle of her order when I said something to him. He didn't realize he still had his mic on and yelled, "Would you just shut the fluff up?" And #X200B, the lady said, "Oh my goodness, excuse me." He just kept apologizing profusely, but back then it was the most hilarious thing to teens. Talking about me, geez, she sounds like Minnie Mouse. Someone take the helium away from that kid. Happened reversely. I was waiting at a Wendy's drive-thru. It was kinda late, 10:30 or 11, and the girl at the drive-thru's headset was being weird, and I heard fluffing piece of garbage, slapping sound. Apparently the battery was almost out and she was trying to switch them. I had to try super hard not to laugh. Removed. Most costumers don't realize that everyone at work can hear the conversations in the drive-thru. We sell Angus burgers at Newark. A costumer once ordered an anus burger in the drive-thru, and the entire staff was in tears laughing at the poor guy. One time we had a person sit in the lane for 7 minutes having an argument with the other person in the car over their divorce. On top of that, there's conversations about deadbeat baby daddies and whatnot. Stuff can get weird. When I worked at McSlong's, a lady pulled up and started saying how she hates coming here because the drive-thru person is always an idiot and never gets her order right. And how McDonald's only hires idiots. I greeted her with, "Hello ma'am, sorry for your past experiences but not all of us are idiots, and in fact we all can hear you on the headsets as soon as you pull up." She drove off. Most if not all of Starbucks drive-thrus have a camera, so we can see you. We can see when you flip us off, we can see when you're doing something you shouldn't be. We can see the faces and hateful glares you make. And more importantly, we can see when you and your so are for some reason trying to get it on in the DT lane. Like y'all can't wait and pull into the parking lot for that? I don't work at a drive-thru but witnessed some horrible behavior from my sister at McDonald's once. 1. She ordered nuggets and extra barbecue sauce. Food comes out and she opened the bag before driving away. No sauce. She sassed the lady at the drive-thru. I asked for sauce. I think mainly because of her tone, the woman didn't acknowledge her. So my sister shouted at her again and again, but added an expletive or two. Finally the woman opened the window and tossed half a dozen sauces at my sister. And my sister picked one up and chucked it at the woman's head and then drove off. God, I hated driving around with my sister.